Carrying on with this playthrough of the Dawn of Man, first time going through it, in retrospect with some lessons learned. We've gone through basically the Stone Age, and we're now into the Metal Age. We had the warning that we're going to get basically fortified settlements, going to be more raiders, so buckle up for the all-adrenaline, action-filled rollercoaster ride of excitement that now the game transitions to. Or in fact not. Yeah, okay, it is very similar. It's about half an hour to get through this first, the Metal Ages, the Copper Ages. So I guess what, 4 hours? 4 hours-ish of playtime. And yeah, so just deal with a trader that came in just as we kicked ourselves over to the Copper Age. Basically back to the settlement, they're in the middle of planting. Still waiting on that megalith to get delivered. Still wondering where all our tanned hides are going. The answer is that we keep building sledges and other things and buildings that use them. They take priority over the megaliths. But now we've got this sort of wonderful new technology known as copper. We can start making an entirely different set of tools and things. In the meantime, though, we're just going to finish off the walls around the settlement, so it's got a full 360-degree coverage. Again, using the sort of stone outcrop terrain where we can. That needs trees, logs. Palisades need logs, lots and lots of logs. As I mentioned before, fortunately trees grow back fairly quick. As you can see, we're gradually sort of depopulating the area of trees to build this settlement, but they're still there around the fringes, and they do keep insisting on growing back up inside the middle. The same also kind of goes true for animals. Animals get pushed further and further away from your settlement as your hunting basically predates on them, the people, and they shy away from the people. Here we can see the first attempt, our bold villagers, to move a megalith. Basically do a spot of hunting and capturing. We've got some sheep now. We've got pigs, not so many pigs and not so many goats, so let's see if we can capture some pigs and goats if we can. There we go. One thing that you can note with the megaliths is they get carried by up to 4 people when they're rolling, and they are really slow when only one person's carrying it. So if you're that bothered by it, or they're close to a dangerous area where there's like wolves or something, you can prioritise it to get it moved out of there faster. Here we go, just putting the last bits of the settlement walls down, getting the trees out of the way. Still a few unhappy people in the settlement. Hopefully they are about to solve that. You can see this big stone coming through. And in a moment they're going to turn it upside end, and then they'll have a nice new place to worship. There we go, there is our upturned stone. Getting some more ready to move because we're also trying to build dolmen to bury people. More mud huts. There we go, see the advancing line of that palisade whilst we were busy elsewhere. First raiders. Are they going to be significantly difficult now that we are in the Copper Age? No. We're going to sound the trumpet and then we're going to run out because I'm tired of waiting for them, and then they'll just get killed and run off almost instantly. There you go, just like that. Well, that was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it, for our Metal Age raiders. I think they managed to kill a sheep. That was about all they got away with. New trader, get some more goats, flog off some of the excess skins, outfits. We've now got enough from basically wool and linen that we don't need the skins and hide outfits. We can still use them to make use of those skins that we do get from hunting or killing our own animals. But yeah, you can also see we've got a not unreasonable amount of meat in the stores, and we haven't really been doing as much gathering as we used to, and that's because they, at the end of every winter, killing off the old animals gets us some of that meat, and eventually we're going to get to a point where we just don't need to hunt anymore. There you go, putting down some copper mines for this wondrous new material that our people can now use. Meanwhile, more stables. More creatures, more animals means more stables. And again, autumn, are we going to get all those crops harvested in time? Probably not, because we don't have enough of the tools. Nearly, but not quite. We're just gonna miss out on the last bit of the last field. There we go. So at the time I was playing this, I wasn't aware of this. I wasn't actually noticing that we were just missing the last bit of those fields. So if I'd noticed, I obviously would have built some more harvesting tools. Here we are. We're going to basically touch it. We're going to buy the cattle domestication if we can, save ourselves having to use it via knowledge points. So yeah, we can now go out and capture some aurochs. We're also going to just now buy, I think, fruit domestication. I'm not convinced by fruit domestication, by the way. I try it, but it seems the amount of food you get out of each tree is quite small. But I'm sure other people are all over the fruits. I guess it stops us getting scurvy. There we go, cut those trees down on the inside. More logs. Have a look at the mines going. It's now built. So we should now start piling up the copper ore. Oh yeah, just put a bit of granary. The granaries only store food. I think what we're going to do next game with this, I'd be more clever about how I set up storage zones. But yeah, I just kept building storage huts and granaries for this game, and it did the trick. But I think if you were clever with how you placed your granaries, you could put them closer to where people are working, so they'd minimise the time going backwards and forwards. More logs, always need more logs. There we go. Put down a workshop so we can start making some of the other tools that the crafter can't make. Still going to use flint, just because we've got lots of it and it's easy to come by. Let's get all those megaliths going. Yeah, no tech tree this time, but we'll pick up a few goats maybe. It's we're short on goats, but yeah, it inspires us to go out and capture a few and hunt a few. There we go, some first cattle that we're going to get. So there we go, first cows come into the village now, building more stables because we're just getting more and more livestock. There's another megalith coming in for the dolmen, as it were. Started to basically get all the tents into huts, nearly there. Still getting the whole no tools warning. It's not necessarily a problem as long as you've got jobs for them to do that don't require tools. So harvesting, sowing, weaving, making clothes, crafting. There's plenty of jobs that don't need tools. More stables. Always more stables. Trader, get some more goats. As you can see, if you're looking at the goat and pig numbers, they're going up and up and up. Goats and pigs appear to be breeding. Those two appear to be the donkeys we've picked up. There we go, and there's our new dolmen. Oh, sorry, I lied, I don't think we've got donkeys yet. So yeah, having got the dolmen, let's go to the next sort of biggest thing. Let's go for a Stonehenge. Sadly, couldn't build it in the settlement, so have it on a hill outside. I'm sure it'd be. I mean, it is. It's like 60 prestige, so I'm sure it'll bring in loads of people to the village, having built that. But you know, there's a lot of megaliths that are required. So around we go, ticking off megaliths, capturing some more orcs. Cut down all these trees that keep growing inside the village. More mud required. So another winter and the straw's gone already. I did actually sell some to a trader, but yeah, the straw already gone. So the livestock are going to have to start eating grain. And not all the meat growing very well, but yeah, we're going to start eating grain, and then they may start then dying at the end from starvation. There you go. There's my first one. Sheep died of starvation, goats died of starvation, cattle died of starvation. So basically, the numbers are just going to start dropping because we haven't got the straw. But they made it through anyway, so we've still got enough, and hopefully enough to keep a breeding population going on most things. Obviously, one cow on its own isn't going to breed. That's not quite how breeding works. So we're going to have to capture some more cattle. But yeah, this is where I started to realise that my number of livestock is basically getting up bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm going to need more straw to feed them through the winter, but also the straw is needed for the buildings. You need it for the roofs, the thatched roofs. So if you're not careful, you can end up in this sort of inverse death spiral of not enough straw to build the buildings that you need to keep the livestock happy, that then don't have enough straw to live, so they just die anyway. So yeah, I was thinking about putting some more food down to keep people fed, and then I realised, well, actually there's no point putting a chestnut tree down. What I should do is put down another crop so I can get more straw. Completely oblivious to the fact that unless I actually make some more harvesting tools, I'm not going to get access to all the straw that I've planted. There we go, the next level of crop, and also there you go, picked up donkey domestication as well. couple of fishing rods, more efficient fishing. You're always limited by the stocks of fish in the river, so the fact that you're more efficient, you're not going to get more fish out of it, you're just going to spend less time doing it, and more time with people off doing other things instead. Here are the raiders going in. I decided this time around I'll see what happens if I close the door. Do they die any easier? And the answer was no. So you may as well just open the doors and just mob them. On the hunt for things to capture. Really not so bothered by food anymore. It is all about what are the creatures I need to capture. Megaliths coming in for the Grand Henge project. Didn't want any of that traders' goods. Yeah, one of the tricks I missed with all those megaliths is you can actually cycle through them with the megalith button. It will cycle you through the amount of megaliths you've got ready to roll. I was actually going around and manually finding all the ones I'd mined. There we go, we're going to try and capture some donkeys. Not entirely sure what for. Can't eat them. Well, I mean, you can. They're just not as good as as a cow or a pig or a sheep or whatever. But we don't have the wheel yet. We're going to get the wheel, then you can actually use donkeys for something useful. Heading into autumn, we've got that additional field now, and yet we haven't really got appreciably much higher harvesting tools, so we're probably not going to get all the harvest in. And yet, we do need more animals. I mean, I quickly built that stables whilst I had straw from the harvest, but let's hope we're going to get enough straw and grain to actually feed them all throughout this winter. Running out of logs. Trader comes again. Puts up some new haystacks to reduce that time travelled from the field, but we still didn't do it. Eventually I'm going to twig on and actually start making some more harvesting tools. Try and grab some more donkeys. Yeah, we don't question the quirky geography that has both wild donkeys and wild horses in the same environment. Much the same way as we don't question why there's basically all the other different animals which come from completely different biomes. So, can we make it through the winter without losing any animals? Looks like we did. Looks like we did just. And here we go, we're going to see if we can. But yeah, but I don't think we had enough, so we didn't. We had too many things we wanted to keep hold of. Planting season once again. Low on knives apparently, but it's not telling us we're low on harvesting tools, which we are. We clearly are, because we're not managing to harvest everything every year. Because no one's dying, it's not really flagging alarm bells to me. What it is meaning though is you sort of get for most of the year, and you can't actually build any buildings anymore, because every building from sort of latter part of the Stone Age onwards requires straw for the thatched roof. So you have to build it frantically in autumn whilst you've harvested the straw. So yeah, my answer to not having enough straw, build another field that harvests for straw. Just completely missing the point that if I can't harvest it because I don't have enough harvesting tools, the fact that I have it isn't going to help. And there we go. Built the wheel, so I bought the wheel. So as donkeys can now do something useful when we actually get around to them. There we go, nearly there with the Stonehenge, 4 out of 6. More cows. As you can see, it's still highlighting all these things that are gatherables, like the trees, the berries, the bushes and the nuts and the whatever. You're just not going to use them anymore. Everything's domesticated now. Animals are domesticated, crops are domesticated, fruit trees and whatever, nut trees are domesticated. Yeah, you're just not going to use them. You're going to farm your own stuff. There we go. Trade again. So finally, we're almost all the way out of this copper age. I actually start thinking about how to make copper. So what you need for that is you need the charcoal pit, which is put down on the left. You need a smelter, and you need a metalsmith. So the charcoal pit makes charcoal from logs. Basically, logs get turned into charcoal. The charcoal plus the ore goes into the smelter. The smelter then makes the copper bars, and the metalsmith turns the copper bars into useful things like a new set of tools. And there you go, there is our henge also underway, and it's built. Isn't that great? There we go, milestone. Still build flint tools because I've got this surplus of flint and sticks. More stables. Need more stables. Too many animals. Build more stables. What I really should be doing is actually just setting the cull limits and just accepting that I don't need that many sheep. That is too many sheep for this village. There are almost as many sheep as people. Into the next winter. Which basically built that first metalsmith. We're going to just about house all the animals. They might have enough straw to make it through, but there's hardly any spare. Yeah, need to make sure a charcoal pit has enough logs, so cut them down. But yeah, not enough straw still. So some of the sheep and cattle dying from starvation. And then we start to realise, well, maybe we should set a limit on our sheep. So there we go, setting out. So the villagers will automatically cull the sheep when they get above a certain level. Except they don't. It's a big fat lie. They don't. I can only assume because it must be right down the bottom of the priorities. But even when I've had like worker production, efficiencies at like sort of 20%, so they've got virtually nothing to do. There are still too many sheep wandering around above the limit I have set. I'm going to pause this rant for a moment whilst to talk about the fact we've just there. We're going into the metalsmith. We're going to make some copper tools. They're more efficient, so they'll start to help reduce the amount of time the villagers need to do on the various different tasks, and maybe we'll get a harvest in. Anyway, back to the rant. Yeah, so they don't kill them at the limits you set, which means when you're trying to balance your levels of livestock, you want to make sure all your livestock make it through winter. The wrong animals die because there's too many sheep. Anyway, raider attack. Going to rebuff it fairly easily. Get the door, close the doors, bring the animals in so they don't come in because they're stupid when you sound the alarm. Never mind. I'll just mob the raiders and kill them. But yeah, you're there trying to balance your livestock out. So you say, I want, say, 70 sheep. So they don't kill down to 70. They actually let maybe 80 live. And then, because you've got 80, you haven't got enough stable space or you haven't got enough straw or grain. So 10 animals die. And only 3 of your sheep die and you've lost 6 cattle, a pig and 2 donkeys or something. And you're like, well, those are not the ones I wanted dead. Really annoying, and I haven't yet found a way around it other than to just take it into account and artificially lower the settings of what you want. Okay, now we've got the wheel. So this is where your donkeys come into play. So you basically make a few carts. The donkeys will pull the carts. And much like the little sleds that your people carry, that lets them make fewer trips. So when you cut down a tree, without anything, they have to make several trips to go back and forwards, each time carrying a single log from that tree. With a sledge, they can do it in about 2 trips. With a cart, they'll do it in 1. And so on and so forth. Might make it easier for that harvesting dilemma, because they can just pile all the harvested stuff in the donkey. Anyway, there you go. That's donkeys and carts and why they're a good thing. Can't have, I would say personally, you can no such thing as too few donkeys and carts. Anyway, back to the wood cutting. We're gradually eking up those knowledge points. We're nearly at the point we're going to tick over. The settlement's fully walled off. Stonehenge has been built. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly say we've mastered livestock, but we've certainly got a lot of it. Here we go again. Are we going to manage to cut all this down in this autumn? I actually planted some new farms. Getting desperate. Where's all this straw that I need? Why can't I get enough straw? Because you're not harvesting everything you planted. But we've now got bronze tools. Are they going to be enough to get through all that? Also got a couple of unhappy people, so stick some random totems down. In comes the trader. Try and get some of those hides we're missing. Anyway, the answer was no, we didn't get all the straw and the grains in. But we're now making tools in both the crafter and the metalsmith, so we should have both the sort of older age, less efficient stuff, and the newer age, more efficient stuff. Who knows? Next planting season, maybe we'll make our way through it. Cut down some more trees. Unfortunately, didn't get all the straw in. There goes an animal, dies of starvation. But we made it through again. Losses weren't too bad. But we aren't quite getting enough linen clothes, so let's put some more flax and Put up some rye because we haven't had that as a crop yet. Probably useful for brewing. But yeah, there we go. That's what settlement looks like now. Just about to sow the new set of crops for this year. And that's it. Copper Age done, Bronze Age to come. We'll have a canter through that on the next one. We'll get another iteration of tool improvement. We'll get bronze tools, and maybe we'll actually get all our crops in. So yeah, see you in the next one.